behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time once again. I'm glad that you could join us today. We've got a great interview coming up in just a couple minutes, but before we do, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. That'll allow you to get all the recent interviews in your inbox, and we'll help you do that. And also check out the comment section and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you there. We also have links to our caps and t-shirts there as well, so we'll help you take advantage of that. And if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/PaulMashTV. Feel free to like the page, inbox us, comment on everything you see. We'd love to hear from you there as well. And our email address is paulmashtv@gmail.com. And whether you're a band or a solo artist, you can use that to get on the show. And we'll tell you how to do that. And it's for fans as well. So if you're a fan of the show and want to talk to us, you can also use that same email address. And don't forget to check out Roku channel Smile World TV at 6 p.m. Central every Wednesday. For our Paul Mash TV episode there. And also, if check out our official web address, that's www.onemikemusic, that's the number 1, Mike Music, all one word, .net, /Paul Mash TV. And I hope you enjoy that, and we'll recap all of this in the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. In just a moment, from Prince Edward Island, we have Maxine MacLennan. Very talented musician, as all of our other artists here on the show. And we're going to get to that in just a second, but here's a quick word from Click Jam. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, it's time for interview time as promised, and with us we have Maxine MacLennan from Prince Edward Island, Canada. Thanks for joining us, Maxine.
Oh, thank you very much, Paul, for having me on here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you here today. Well, let's start with the obvious question. When did it begin for you as an artist? I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be an artist, but tell us in your own words.
Well, it began, I was 11, and my dad always had a country band home here, and his singer quit on him, and I was singing in the living room when they were trying to practice, and out in the kitchen, and I guess I was singing along with them or whatever, and the piano player said, "You don't need to look for a singer. There's your singer right there." So I ended up being in my dad's band at 11, going into the bars and playing on stage with the rest of them. And I didn't really consider myself an artist at 11 because you don't really know that you are, right? So we were doing, cover music, and Dad was writing some songs, and we would do some of Dad's songs. But for me, it was a novelty at the time, and I just remember being happy that I was making a little bit of money, and all my weekends, and it became a really big deal because I was 11 and the crowds, were coming to see the 11-year-old sing, right? And they used to have to hide me from the liquor inspector when he would come in, so they'd put me behind a curtain or in the bathroom or somewhere, and so that I'd be able to continue to be on stage with the band. I stayed with my dad's band for, oh my gosh, probably 15 years. And then after that, it was on and off again to help him out. And then I kind of, joined other bands and became the front person for them, and was learning all the time as I went. And then I just knew I wanted more then. So I guess maybe that's when I became the artist. I was probably 24, and I knew I wanted more from the music. And I knew I had more to give, and I just didn't know how to go about it. So I entered a competition, a vocal competition up at the other end of my province, which would be about 2 hours away, or mostly 2 hours away. And I won the competition, and they sent me to Country Music Week in Winnipeg, where I placed second or third. I can't remember now. I know I didn't win, but I was second or third, and they wrote about me in the papers. And I was trying, to meet as many people as I could during Country Music Week, and it became a fever then after that. So we went back, my friend and I, for 10 or 15 years of Country Music Weeks. And I was slowly making my way and recording, and my songs were getting national airplay and airplay in the UK and stuff. And I just I wasn't writing up until about 6 or 7 years ago. And then I started writing, and I can't stop. So I'm kind of, the artist started later than I actually started on stage. And then the writer started later than the artist. And now it's kind of all together. And, finally the one, the one package is all wrapped up in the one person.
Okay, well, that is quite a story, especially those, what you said, I think you said you were in a contest and stuff like that. Now that's pretty amazing. And hope you keep doing what you do,
Well, thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the influences that you grew up with when, like all the mainstream artists that, were there any that pop out in your mind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there sure were. Tanya Tucker was a big one.
Exactly.
Dolly Parton was another big one. Loretta Lynn, like all the gals, and then moving on up in later years, Martina McBride was a huge influence. I loved the types of songs that she was recording, the message songs. I think the first one that I recognized of hers was song about whiskey. She had really long hair in the video. I can't remember the title of it, but I think it was about whiskey and how it was taking her love, and anyway, I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure it'll pop up though after I'm done here. And I mean, female artists for sure, but also male artists had a huge influence in me too, like Willie and all the guys. Waylon Jennings. I mean, we, in my dad's band, we did all those numbers of Waylon and Willie and Johnny Cash and all of those guys. And now we do different versions of those songs, and it's fun, bringing back songs from way back when you first started. Like, it's like full circle.
Okay, yeah, and obviously those are legends in their own,
Yeah.
In their own way. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where we can find your music? I mean, I'm sure that's all streaming platforms, but if we have physical copies, you can let us know that as well.
Yeah, I definitely do have physical copies here at the house. I just got a new order of my album Pieces of Me. So people can reach me on Messenger, Maxine MacLennan. I have a website. It's www.maxinemusic.ca. And you can find me on YouTube as well, although you can't message me on YouTube, I guess. I don't think. And what was I going to say about? Yeah, so I'm on iTunes and Spotify, and yeah, you can find me if you don't want to buy it from me, a physical copy. You can definitely go to iTunes. I'm on there.
Okay. So is it only available on iTunes, or do you have it in other streaming platforms as well?
Well, whatever. I put it on CD Baby, so it encompasses a lot of different platforms, I think. So I don't know what they all are. It's all out there though.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And again, speaking of your music, we're getting ready to watch this music video from you in just a moment. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it if there's a story behind it?
Sure, there's definitely a story behind it. The song is written about the passing of my mom. The moments and the hours and the days of how I felt like after she passed, and it was the most all-encompassing uh, devastation, I guess, losing my mom. And because your parents are mostly with you all your life, and when you lose them, and I just lost my dad a month ago, and so it's a really strange feeling having no parents in the world with you. And I don't know if you have yours with you or not, but it's an empty kind of bizarre feeling. And when I lost mom, we were with her for the whole week in the hospital, the whole family. And so the song is written, the first two verses, about how I feel about losing her and what it's like to me personally. And then the last verse takes you right into the hospital room. Minister was there. There was someone in our family at the time playing the violin or the fiddle, because mom absolutely loved the fiddle. We also had Dolly Parton playing in the background after the fiddle tune was done, and because that was one of her favorites, and to this day still one of mine and my daughter's. And there was one of my best friends was not in the hospital room, but she had her two little girls that we love dearly. They're just like extended family to us. And Sheila's my best friend, and her little girls are Brenna and Marin. And Brenna, the oldest, was in the chapel right across from mom's room with her mom, with Sheila. And she looked up at her mom when she was kneeling down, and she folded her little hands and she said, "Mom, what do I ask God for?" And Sheila said, and we called my mom Mamie. And so Sheila said, "Just ask God for Mamie to breathe easy." And at that moment, that's when mom passed, when all of that was happening. So Sheila and her daughter were in the chapel. The minister had come in and prayed over mom. The fiddle player was just finishing up, and mom we watched her turn color, and she just took one last breath, and she was gone. It was really peaceful. That the minister said it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. And he was really thankful to be part of it. So I didn't cry. I tried to be really strong for everyone. I sang at my mom's funeral, and I didn't cry at the funeral. I was strong for my sister and my daughter and everybody else. And it took me about 2 months before I completely broke down about the whole thing. And then the song started in my head, and I knew that something was taking shape. It took me about 3 months to finish it. And sometimes I can write a song in an hour, an hour and a half, and be happy with it. But this one, I took some extra care with it, and I'm pretty happy with it. The video is not professionally done. It was just done by my friend, and I forget why we needed it. We used it for something, and so please don't judge the video. But the recording is done very well.
Okay, well, that's quite a story there, Maxine, and we'll be watching that in just a moment. We're going to watch that video in a moment, and but before we do, that's all we really need for now. And we want to thank you, Maxine, for coming on the show, and we'd love to have you back sometime.
Oh, please, anytime. It's a pleasure, and pleasure to talk to you, and really nice to meet you. And thank you for helping to promote indie artists and me.
Oh, well, I appreciate your kind words there. And let's get ready to watch Without You by Maxine MacLennan right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
There's a quiet, there's a stillness in that hour just before dawn. That's when I awake with my heartache, and I remember that you're gone. Now I face each day the only way I can, without you in my life. But when I go to sleep, you come back to me in my dreams every night. There are days when I can feel you near. You're in my head, my heart, my soul. It's like you're here. Oh, the memories I live with, I'd trade in an instant just to have you back with me. There's a sunrise, there's a sunset in each day for me to see, but they don't look the same. Everything has changed. I have a new reality. Each morning, noon and night, I hold your memory tight to my heart and wear it on my sleeve. And I try to hang on to what I have left of you, and it only hurts me if I breathe. There are days when I can feel you near. You're in my head, my heart, my soul. It's like you're here. Oh, the memories I live with, I'd trade in an instant just to have you back with me. You fought your battles hard, they're behind you now. I guess it was your time to go. You slipped away from me so quietly, to the sound of the fiddle and bow. And there were calming words from some preacher amid tears and all our love. We saw a little child fold her hands in prayer, asking God to raise you up. There are days when I can feel you near. You're in my head, If I could just have you back for real.